Hello everyone, myself Ashish Desai, Assistant Professor, Mechanical Department. Today we are going to discuss here unit number 6, Dimensional Analysis. So in that content we are going to discuss the introduction of dimensional analysis, application of dimensional analysis, method for dimensional analysis, dimensional homogeneity and Railing's method. So these are the points we are going to discuss here. So in introduction factor, we'll know that the many practical real problems in fluid mechanics can be solved by using the equations and analytical procedures. However, the solutions of some real flow that depends heavily on experimental data. So that sometimes the experimental work in laboratory is not only in consuming time but also expensive. It's not only expensive but only the time consuming also. So the main goal is to extract the maximum information from fewest experiments. So in this regard, the dimensional analysis is an important tool that will help to collaborating the analytical results with experimental data and to predict the prototype behavior from the measurement on the models. So this is the main benefits of dimensional analysis. So very critical problems will solve with the minimum experiment setups, and we are predicting for different tools, and then we have to go for validation of the prototype to the product. So this is the advantage of dimension analysis. So there are some applications of dimension analysis. So first application is development of equation for fluid phenomena. So while designing the different heat exchangers or different fluid equipments, we can go for the equations. So we are developing it with the help of dimension analysis. Also we are converting the form one form of two units to another form. Also we are reducing the number of variables required in the experimental program, because if it is number of variables is there, so if you are not predicting very well, so first of all we identify the with the help of this dimension analysis very variable parameters and appropriate parameters. So this is the help will help from this dimension analysis. Then develop principles of hydraulics and similar for model study. This is also advantages. So this is the main application focus is behind there. So in dimension analysis, in introductory part, as we know that the dimension analysis is a method of dimensions, and it is mathematical technique used for research work, for design and for conducting model tests. So overall data will get the research work as well as for conducting a different model tests. So this is a good technique, and it deals with the physical quantity which is involved in a phenomena. So physical quantity means we know that all the terms related with the mass, length and time. So this is called as physical quantities. Now we know that the dimensional analysis is the method of dimensions. So in the fundamental dimensions as known to you, that is mass, length and time. So this is the relations for the mass. We can express in terms of kg, but we written as a capital M. So if it is length is there in terms of meter, we can take as a capital L. Then if we put as time, for that we can say capital T. So this is called as fundamental dimensions, or can say fundamental quantities. So actually dimension analysis deals with physical quantities. Physical quantity means containing the MLT, that is mass, then length and time. But if you specify for the fundamental dimensions, so it relates only mass, length and time. For secondary quantities, it deals with whenever the quantity was the more than one fundamental dimension. So in content of more than one parameter is there, suppose consider area. So here meter square is there, you can say L square. Volume is there, meter cube, that's why L cube. Kinematic, so kinematic is there, so that time velocity is there. So here velocity means in terms of meter per second. So meter stands for L and S stands for T, because we are formatting a MLT. So that's why I can write as a LT raised to minus 1, because T is at the denominator. We can take numerator, that is why T raised to minus 1. For acceleration, meter per second square. So that is why L by T square. So we can get L2 into T raised to minus 2. So this is the acceleration. And for dynamic, that is force. So force is in terms of Newton. So here mass is there, length is there and time is there. So that's why I can take M into L into 10 raised to minus 1. Density kg per meter cube. So that's why mass is in terms of kg and meter cube, therefore L cube. So write it M L raised to minus 3. Only you have to formatting is a in length of MLT. So if you write in terms of MLT, then it is easily to solve the different problems which is on based on model tests. So now we enter into the fundamental dimensions. So as we know that fundamental dimension means length, mass and time, LMLT, that is MLT. So that's why you can use the symbol that is L for length, mass for M and T. So as you know that dimension analysis is MLT is based on dimensions. So this is a fundamental dimension. So always remember that MLT is the length, mass and time is the fundamental quantities. Now we enter for geometric quantity. Geometry means area or volume. So area symbol is A and that dimensions is L square. V is L cube. So how it is? So area is nothing but length into breadth. So we can say length area is equal to pi over 4 d square. So both L length means meter. So meter square is there. Area is in terms of meter square and diameter square is there. That's why meter square. Because pi over 4 is constant. So meter square is there means dimension is L square because all terms is in a L square, length square. So that's why meter square. Okay. Then volume, length, width and height. That's why we can write as a meter cube and we are formatting a dimension that is L cube. So this is called as geometric dimensions or can say geometric quantities. So already we discussed regarding the physical quantities, fundamental quantities. Now we discussed this geometric quantities. Now we enter for kinematic properties or can say kinematic quantities. So in that case, kinematic quantity is called as velocity, angular acceleration, discharge, acceleration due to gravity, and kinematic viscosity. So these are the symbols, and this is expressing terms that is in terms of MLT format. So first of all, we discuss regarding the velocity. So as you know that velocity is nothing but distance upon time. Distance means length, and time means for time. So if you take in a MLT format, length is terms of sorry m is L in terms of length and time for t. So we can write L t raised to minus 1. So that's why I write L t minus 1. That is a dimension. So this is called as a secondary derivatives because more than one variable is present, length and time. So here length upon time, distance upon time is length upon time. So for length we can take L, time t. So that's why I can write L t raised to minus 1. Similarly, we go for angular velocity. So angular velocity means angle covered in a radians divided by time. So we can write as 1 by t raised to minus 1. So 1 upon t means t raised to minus 1. Radian we are not expressing length mass. So that's why we are only 1 and time for t raised to minus 1. So that's why we write as a t raised to minus 1. This is a dimension format. The next acceleration. So this acceleration means velocity upon time. So velocity is nothing but already discussed this length upon time into 1 upon time. So we write as a 1 upon time and length of time. So if you take length as it is time square, so L upon t square, that means acceleration is nothing but L t raised to minus 2. So here we write L t raised to minus 2. Then angular acceleration, that means radian per second square, rad per t square, because radian second square is there, square is 1, t square means t raised to minus 2. This is about acceleration. The next angular acceleration is this value. Okay. The next term is for discharge. So how it is discharge? Discharge means area into velocity because Q is equal to AV. Q means discharge, AV, that is area into velocity. So area is in terms of L square and velocity is in terms of L upon T. Yes, correct. So that's why L cube upon T. That means L cube into T raised to minus 1. So that's why I can write here for discharge purpose Q is equal to L cube T raised to minus 1. Then next for acceleration due to gravity, it is just similar to acceleration. That means velocity upon time. Then velocity means length upon time divided to 1 upon time. So that's why length times square L t raised to minus 2. The next term is for kinematic viscosity. So as you know that kinematic viscosity unit is meter square per second. Meter square means length square and time. That kinematic viscosity is nothing but meter square per second. Meter square means length square upon time. So this meter square per second, that means that L square and time divided by t is there. That's why L square t raised to minus 1. So that's why I can write kinematic viscosity is equal to L square t raised to minus 1. This is about kinematic quantities. Then next we go for dynamic quantities. So first dynamic quantity is force. Force indicated by F, weight indicated by W, density rho, and specific weight small w. So first of all, we can take in force. Force is nothing but mass into acceleration. We know that. So for mass, we can write capital M because it is in the format of fundamental dimensions or can say physical quantities. Okay, that is mass is M Acceleration means what? Acceleration means meter per second square. Meter means length upon time square means that time square means second means time square. Again I repeat, mass per m, acceleration per length upon time square, because meter per second square. So meter is length, second square means time square. And then m as it is, l as it is, time square is called t square. So that way you can write as a m l t raised to minus 2, m l t raised to minus 2. This is about force. Second, weight. Weight is nothing but also we can write as a mass into acceleration, because acceleration due to gravity is there. Weight means W is equal to mg. Mg means m as it is, g means length upon time square. So again I write time this ml upon t raised to 2 is equal to ml t raised to minus 2. Then weight, sorry, density. Density is nothing but rho is equal to mass upon volume. So mass we can write m. Volume, volume means length cube. That's why I can write L cube, and that's why the can write is a m L raised to minus 3. So density rho m L raised to minus 3. So this is about dimension format. We are writing the MLT format, that is m L raised to minus 3. Then number 4, specific weight. So weight upon volume. Weight means we can write weight as it is, that is mLT minus 2. So here copied it mLT minus 2 because weight already we discussed, mLT minus 2. Then volume is nothing but length cube, so I can write L cube. So this L cube and L, so rest of L raised to minus 2 is there. So that's why the equation becomes L mL raised to minus 2 t minus 2. So this mLT raised to minus 2 for specific weight. So this is about dynamic quantity. Then next dynamic quantity is dynamic viscosity, that is mu. Then we will discuss regarding the pressure intensity and modulus velocity. So first we are discussing here dynamic viscosity. So as you know that relation, that is tau is equal to mu du by dy. So mu means that dynamic viscosity. So therefore mu is equal to tau upon du by dy. Tau means shear stress, du means change of velocity, dy means change of distance. Shear stress means force upon area, change of velocity means length upon time, velocity means length upon time, into distance means length, 1 upon length. So this length will get cancelled out, length is cancelled out, and this time is at denominator we can get on numerator. That's why force into time. So this force into time divided by area. So instead of area we can write L square, length square. Area is in terms of length square. So that's why force is nothing but Newton, time is in terms of second, and this L square, this meter square. So that means we have it relations for the force is m L minus 1 t minus 1. Okay, so from this equation we are writing it over here. The next, pressure is equal to force upon area. That means we are at mass into acceleration divided by area. So m as it is, acceleration length upon time square, because acceleration means meter per second square, so meter means length upon time square. So this is length square. So after that cancellation of terms will be becomes m length upon time square, m as it is, length as it is, time square means t square. So after cancellation we will get the relation m L minus 1 t minus 2, m L minus 1 t minus 1. That is about pressure, m L minus 1 t minus 2. Okay, that is about pressure. The next term is, so here same term is there, that's why I can take as it is. Then modulus of velocity, that is k or e, that is same term is there, modulus velocity or bulk modulus. So that relation is known as that unit is Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square means force upon area. We consider here area. Force means mass into acceleration. Area we can say length square. Mass we can take m as it is, acceleration. So acceleration means length upon time square. So length upon time square is there. So this length square becomes L, length will cancel out. So only length one is there, m length time square. So that means m divided by L t square. So that equation becomes m L minus 1 t minus 2. This is about bulk of modulus, or you can say modulus of elasticity. So this is the dimension format. Then next we will discuss regarding surface tension. Surface tension is denoted by sigma, so shear stress tau, and work energy is W or E. So as we know that surface tension is in terms of Newton per meter. That's why force upon length, mass into acceleration, length as it is, mass we can say m, acceleration upon length upon time square. So this length is cancelled out, so mass upon time square only remain. So mass upon time square means m times for t square. So we can equation write as a m t raised to minus 2. So this is about surface tension. Then we move for shear stress. This is force upon area. Force is nothing but mass into acceleration. We can take mass as it is. Acceleration is nothing but length upon time square, because meter per second square. Meter means length, second square means time square. and area you can compute as a length square. So this length square, you will get one length is remain, the equation becomes m length up into time square. So length, single length is cancelled out, and the relation becomes ml t raised to 2. That means ml raised to minus 1 t raised to minus 2. This is about shear stress. Now we compute for work or energy, that is Newton meter, or can say force into displacement. So force into displacement means force into length. So as we know that force in the given mass into acceleration, length as it is, then m as it is for mass, acceleration means length upon time square into this length. So length square upon time square. So m into length square upon time square. Then L square means L square, length square means L square, time square means T square. So that relation becomes m L square T raised to minus 2, m L square T raised to minus 2. This is about work or energy. So these are the relations we are using for dimension analysis. The next power. Power is nothing but denoted by P. That means torque in terms of T, capital D. Momentum is in terms of capital M. So as you know that power means watt in terms of watt, joule per second, Newton meter per second. So as we know that power is equal to work done per second, or you can say time. So work done means force into displacement, and time we can take as it is. So force as it is into the this length upon time means the we have right displacement in terms of length. Then force is nothing but mass into acceleration. So here we are write it, force is nothing but mass into acceleration, length upon time. So m as it is, acceleration means length upon time square into this length. So this becomes time raised to cube L square and m length square time cube. So that becomes m as it is, L square means capital L square, time means t cube, and after that m L square t raised to minus 3. This is about power. Then torque means force into radius. So force is nothing but mass into acceleration, radius is nothing but length. Mass is m, acceleration means length upon time square into this length. So this length means length square. So m length square times square. That means m as it is, length square L square t raised to 2. That's why the relation becomes m square L square t raised to minus 2. This is about torque. Then we move for the momentum, that becomes mass into velocity. So mass we can take as it is. Then velocity is nothing but length upon time. So we can take as a ml upon t. ml upon t. That means mlt raised to minus 1. So this is here momentum mlt raised to minus 1. So this is the formulation for the dimension analysis. So already we categorized for the fundamental dimension, then kinematic dimensions, or you can say kinematic quantities, then dynamic quantities. So these are the data we are collected here, that is fundamental quantities, geometric quantities, kinematic quantities, and dynamic quantities. So this MLT format we required. For mass we can write m, length for you can let L, time for T, a square. A square means meter square, so we can write L square. Volume written L cube, because volume is nothing but length with height, that means meter cube, so L cube. That likewise we can write in the format. So this is the required format. So in dimension of some common physical quantities, so we have to know common phenomena. For length we can write we remember as L, mass we can remember as m, time we can remember as for t. Then velocity is for L t raised to minus 1. Acceleration we know that L t raised to minus 2. Force is nothing but m L t minus 2. Then discharge L cube by t raised to minus 1. Mass density for m L cube L raised to minus 3. Pressure m L minus 1 t minus 2. Then next energy is ml square t raised to minus 2. These are the common terms for the physical quantities. So whenever you are solving these problems on dimension analysis, so these are the requirement of the quantities. Okay, the next point is for dimensional homogeneity. So dimension homogeneity means that dimension each equation on both sides are equal. So if you consider for length LHS and RHS, that means left hand side and right hand side will be same. That same you can call it as a dimension homogeneity. So let us consider that equation v is equal to square root of 2g. So this equation is dimensional homogeneous or not, we are checking first. We are considering first length of that left hand side, that is v. So v is the velocity, because v is equal to 2gh. So v is that v means velocity, that means length upon time. So length means L as it is, time means t raised to minus 1. So L t minus 1 we can consider for LHS. and for dimension for RHS is nothing but root 2 GH. For root 2 GH, G means acceleration due to gravity, so 2 is constant, so 2 cancel out. G, acceleration due to gravity means acceleration, that means meter per second square. Meter per second means meter is L, second square means T square. So this L square upon T square, so that becomes square root of L square upon T square. You can take L upon T, that means L raised to T minus 1. So for considering LHS and RHS will be same, because for LHS side LT raised to minus 1 and RHS for LT raised to minus 1. So both are the same. So that's why I can say that the V is equal to root 2 GH is the equation for dimensional homogeneous. So it can be used in any system of units. So this is about dimensional homogeneity. So as you know that the method for dimension analysis. So dimension analysis we can done by different methods. So first method is the Rayleigh method and second is Buckingham's pi theorem. I can say Buckingham's pi method. So these are the two methods we are using for dimension analysis. So with the help of dimension analysis, we are conducting different experiments and we are statistically we go for preferable reference of experiments and we are finalizing the equations. So this is the helpful uh, of dimension analysis. So first of all, we discuss regarding the Rayling's method. So Rayling's method. So this we are writing in the format of MLT. Okay, first we have to go for MLT. Then we write into the exponential form. Then select we have to MLT means mass, length, and time. Only we have to find out of this. Then we write the exponential form. Then select the fundamental dimensions. Then substitute the dimensions of physical quantities. So here writing into the physical quantities, apply dimensional homogeneity. Then next equate this power and compute the values of exponents. Then suitable or can say substitute the values of exponents and simplify the expressions. So these are the we have to take care for the Rayling's methods. So actually Rayleigh method is used for a variable which depends on maximum 3 or 4 variables. So after 4 variables this that method will be complicated or can say tedious. So that's why we are using this method for 3 or 4 variables only. So if the number of the independent variables is becomes more than 4, then it is difficult to find out the expressions. Okay, so first we are considering here L is a x variable and which depends on x1, x2, x3 variables. So depending variable is x1, x2, x3, and in that x1 is a variable, or I can say x is variable. Though according to Rayling's method, x is the function of x1, x2, x3. So we write it in the form of mathematical format. So x is equal to, x means your variable format, and these are the three parameters, that is x1, x2, x3. These are the functions. So x is a variable and it is depend on x1, x2, and x3. So this can be written in a Rayling's method is in exponential format, capital X as it is. So for function of this pf is you can write k x1 raised to small a, x2 I can write as it is, and b, x3 able to c. So a, b, c is the value. We can say that the a, b, c is the arbitrary powers and k is the constant. Okay, now this a, b, c are the obtained by comparing the powers of fundamental dimensions on both sides, and the expression is obtained for dependent variables. So this is the important terms. So only here we put up the value for x1, x2, and x3, and then we can put the where that comparisons. That is nothing but Rayleigh method. Again I repeat, for Rayleigh method, Rayleigh method is depending on only 3 or 4 variables. If you use more than 4 variables, that process will be complicated. So therefore we are considering this L, that let x is variable, x1, x2, x3 are depending variables, and then we are go for the formulation or can say mathematical format, that is x is the function of x1, x2, x3. That is the format, because we are considering x1, x2, x3 as a variable and x1 x is a variable. So this is dependent variable, so we can write like this. Also we can write k x1 raised to 1, k x2 is raised to b, x3 raised to c. K is the constant and a, b, c is the arbitrary powers. Now we go for the first problem based on a Rayling's method. So in that we have discussed the formulation. The time period t of pendulum depends on the length L of the pendulum. So length of pendulum is capital L and time period is t, and acceleration due to gravity is g. So derive the relation for time period. So only we are knowing the dependent and independent variables, and with the help of that we can derive expression. So this is the speciality of dimensional analysis. So here we are using a Rayleigh's method. Okay, so first of all we know that the time t is a depending on, sorry, t is a is a function of L and G. Okay, so that time t is the main function and dependent variable is L and G. So that's why I can write t small t on a left hand side and k into right hand side. So we can write k is a function of x raised to a, or can say x1 is to raised to a. So here L is x1 and x2 is g. So L a g b, at a b are the arbitrary constants. So first of all we write the t l and g, that is this is equation 1, and where k is constant, substituting these dimensions. So dimensions in terms of MLT format we can put up like this. For time we can write t raised to 1, k as it is, LA, so length is there for LA, g means acceleration due to gravity, so we write it in a format of that LT raised to minus 2, that means MLT format. So MLT format is for the acceleration to gravity is LT raised to minus 2, that means meter per second square. So I write meter means L, second square means t raised to minus 2 because it is the denominator sides. So for that purpose, after that we compare with the MLT format. So for power of t, so here power of t is 1, right, and here t is only there is there, so t is minus 2b, so we can write minus 2b is over here, 1 is over here, minus 2b is over here, because only we are comparing with power t, t is over here, so minus 2b we can write like this. So b is equal to what? Minus half. This is first. Then we go for next term, that is power of L. So power of L, so here L is absent because on the left hand side L is absent because only t is there, so t is there, other term is absent, so that's why we can take 0. L is 0 on left hand side is equal to, so here L is there, so we can write a, and here we can write b, but into format is there, that's why I can take multiplication is there, so we can write plus b. So 0 is equal to a plus b means what? A is equal to minus b. So already we know that minus b is there, so minus half means b, so minus half means minus minus get plus, so e is equal to half. So this a and b value we are computing, and after that we are putting into equation number 1, we will get the final solution. So this equation 1 and 2, 1 from equation 1 is that t is equal to k L raised to a g raised to b. So we put the value of a L raised to half, g raised to minus half. So that's why we get the value of L raised to half and g raised to minus half. So we can write k into square root of L upon g. So this is about the equation, and therefore k is a determinant from experiments, so that experiments is nothing but k is equal to 2 pi. So you can put k is equal to 2 pi, and then equation becomes t is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon g. So here t is variable and dependent on L and g. So t is so that's why L is g. L is length and g is acceleration due to gravity. So this is the Rayleigh method. Now we will discuss regarding the second problem based on Rayleigh method. So here find out the expression in terms of power. So power is required. P depends on H, Q and W. H means head, Q means discharge, and W means specific weight. So first of all we look at the power is the function of H, Q and W. So H, Q and W. So we can write as equation format P. P is on left hand side and into K. Into K means H, Q and W. H is raised to A, Q is to B, and W is to C. So here we put up the values of fundamental dimensions in the format power So for power we know that, so this is equation number 1. So we can substitute the values of dimension format. So power is in terms of m l square t raised to minus 3. So this is about power. Then k as it is. Then ha. So ha means what? Ha means this is height. So we can write l raised to a. Only we are considering length. That's why I can write la. Q means discharge. So l cube t raised to minus 1 and raised to b. Then w, that is specific weight. That is why m l raised to minus 2 t raised to minus 2 c. So this is about equating the power of ml and t on both sides. So here the power of m is there. So m is here 1 is there, but c, so c is equal to 1. So that's why, or only m is present on that side and that side. So m is 1. Only we are right in a exponential format. So here c, so c is equal to 1. Then next go for power of l. So l is 2 over here on left hand side. Then next is a as it is. Then 3b and l, only l, minus 2c. So after that we can solve this. A is equal to 2 minus 3b plus 2c. So you know that equation, and a is equal to 1 because of this power of t. Power of t is nothing but minus 3 as it is. T is there, so minus b and minus 2c. So you can put the value of uh, b and c. So c is unknown, we can only, sorry, b is unknown, c equal to 1. So that's why we can get the value of a b c. So that's why value a is equal to 1, c is equal to 1, b is equal to 1. So substitute is a b c in equation number 1. What is equation 1? P is equal to k h raised to a, q raised to b, w raised to c. We put the value of there. So that's why final equation becomes p, q is equal to 1, b is equal to 1, c is equal to 1. So p is equal to k h q w. So this is about the power. So already we discussed in this Rayleigh method. This is suitable for 3 or we can say 4 variables. If it is more than that, it should be becomes tedious. So this is about disadvantage of Rayleigh method. So here we are discussed regarding the importance of dimension analysis. Then we are know that fundamental dimensions. Then we are discussed about the different terminologies with physical quantities. And lastly we discussed regarding the Rayleigh method and with its numerical. Thank you.